American-Born Chinese by Jean Luen Yang, color by Lark PN. American-Born Chinese is a graphic novel that details what it is like for someone of Chinese ancestry to grow up in a typical American environment. Jean Luen Yang ties his own Chinese culture, heritage, and experience into the novel American-Born Chinese. American-Born Chinese is actually 3 stories woven together into one. This is what is called intertextuality. The term is taken from Desire and Language, a novel by Julia Kristeva. She says that intertextuality is, quote, text speaking to and through each other, end quote. Scott McCloud goes on to say that intertextuality is part of sequential art, and the reader must fill in and interpret the images in the panels. He additionally states that the reader must understand and fill in the gutter, the blank ribbon of paper that comes between the panels. The first of the 3 stories is the tale of the Monkey King. The Monkey King rules Flower Fruit Mountain and lives in a fable-oriented land. He has mastered the arts of kung fu and all the heavenly disciplines. He wants to be treated like the other gods, but he is rejected because he is a monkey. The story is based on a Chinese novel by Sun Wukong called Journey to the West. This first thread is a Chinese fable. Xiao Tzu lives in the heavens of the gods. He is the Chinese mythological equivalent to the creator of the universe and all creatures. Ultimately, he is the force behind all the characters in the book. He gives each of the characters a chance for freedom and redemption through self-acceptance and self-love. Wang Li Chou is a humble, egoless monk. He is the opposite of all the other characters. He gathers fruit and shares it with the homeless, and he doctors their wounds even when they abuse him. He is unselfish and loving to everyone. He does good and tries to inspire good in others also. The second thread in American-Born Chinese is centered around the character Jin Wang. He is the Chinese-American protagonist who is a new student in an average American school. He feels that he is outside of everyone else and searching for his place in his new environment. He feels that he is shunned because he is Chinese, and he sticks out because he feels he is different. His best friend is Wei Chen Sun, and Jin Wang's story is actually the realism, a realistic situation or problem. Wei Chen Sun is a new immigrant from Taiwan, and he is the newest student in the school. He approaches Jin Wang seeking a friend. He is shunned just as Jin is. In reality, he is an emissary of Xiao Tzu's and is the son of the Monkey King in human form. The third thread of this story involves a socially accepted, all-American basketball-playing boy named Danny. He is a good basketball player at Oliphant High School. He wants to continue to be accepted, but he is forced to transfer to a new school each year to escape humiliation that is caused by his Chinese cousin, Chin Ki. He is actually Jin Wang's alter ego. This part of the story is a satire that parodies life in America for someone who is different from the typical American. Danny's cousin Chin Ki is the stereotypical Chinese male. He speaks Chinglish, a dialect that is a combination of Chinese and English. Chin Ki is from China, and he spends part of each year attending Danny's school. Chin Ki's old world ways are a source of humiliation and embarrassment for Danny. The novel American-Born Chinese has allusions and references to Chinese life and culture. These elements impact the American perspective of Chinese people. It is this that causes Jin Wang to feel that he does not fit into American life or culture. This frame is actually from the beginning of American-Born Chinese. The images are various gods and goddesses, demons and spirits from Chinese culture. If you were to use American-Born Chinese in the classroom, you will need to research the particular characters and the references within the novel to Chinese culture. Within American-Born Chinese is an allusion to the novel Journey to the West by Wen Qingyan. It was written in the 16th century during the Ming Dynasty, and it's part of the tale of the Monkey King. It is from this Chinese tale that the Monkey King story in American-Born Chinese is taken. A third reference to Chinese culture within this novel is a reference to Yao Ming, a basketball player who was 7 foot 6 inches tall, and he was recruited into the United States to play as a center for the Houston Rockets basketball team. This is woven into Danny's story in American-Born Chinese. A final reference to Chinese culture is a beverage called boba, or pearl milk tea. This beverage was created in a tea house in Taichung, Taiwan. It is made using tapioca, and the little gel beads settle to the bottom of the beverage. There are also allusions to and references to within the novel to American pop culture. If you were to teach this novel, you might review these with your students because some of these are no longer relevant today. American-Born Chinese is frequently used in 9th grade literature courses. The first American reference is to a young man named William Hung, who performed on American Idol. Chin Key is performing that song, the same song William Hung did, and you will notice by the faces of the characters around him that they are not impressed. Neither Chin Key's nor William Hung's performance was stellar, and both Chin Key and William Hung embody 19th century Chinese stereotypes. Another reference is the rice rocket. This is a derogatory label that goes back to the 1960s. It was used to describe any Japanese or Asian-made motorcycle. Today, it's a motorcycle or automobile that descended from any Asian vehicles. This is an image or a reference to Xiao Tzu, and he is a reference to God. To this particular frame, you'll notice the white beard, the hair, the staff. Xiao Tzu says, "I do not make mistakes, little monkey. A monkey I intended you to be, and a monkey you are." Xiao Tzu was the creator of every character and living thing within the novel. Just as Xiao Tzu is a reference to God, Wang Li So is a reference to Jesus. In American-Born Chinese, Wang Li So is the monk. In these particular scenes from the novel, you will notice the images of Jesus, Joseph, and Mary, and you will also notice the image here of God the Father, or Sin Lo Tzu, next to the monk, Wang Li So. There is also a reference to the television show Everybody Loves Raymond. Raymond is no longer on television, but within American-Born Chinese, we have everyone loves Chin Key. Notice across the bottom of the frame, clap, 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 clap. This actually is an indication that this is the canned audience reaction, and all frames of Chin Key are parodies of the American sitcom Everyone Loves Raymond. Additionally, within this novel, we have references to the Transformers. Our characters, Jin Wang and his schoolmates here, are playing with the Transformers. It says, "Afterwards we would stage epic battles that left our toys smelling like spit." This is the cover of American-Born Chinese over here. And you will notice that this is Jin Wang, and this is how he would like to see himself, transforming into someone who is not American-born Chinese. A wise woman gives an allusion to Faust, who is a character in German legends, and he sells his soul to the devil for power and knowledge. When Jin Wang tells her he wants to be a transformer, she says, "It is easy to become anything you wish, so long as you're willing to forfeit your soul." Parodied within American-Born Chinese is also the perspective that non-Caucasians must be not born in the United States. Non-Caucasians are viewed as recent immigrants. The first day that Jin is in his new school, his teacher of 3rd grade introduces him by saying, "He and his family recently moved to our neighborhood, all the way from China." And notice, Jin Wang says, "San Francisco," and she says, "San Francisco." Stereotyping is also evident, especially within the character Chin Key. Everything about him is stereotyped. His hair is fixed in the big long braid of the traditional Chinese man. His luggage is actually Chinese takeout boxes. We also have within this image examples of the clothing, the kimono, traditional Chinese clothing. He is speaking Chinglish, which is a dialect of poor English. He says, "Hello, America." He is gregarious, cheerful, happy, outgoing, almost to the point of groveling. And notice again at the bottom of this particular frame, ha ha ha, clap, clap, clap. The sitcom parody continues. It is stereotypical that Chinese people eat foods not standard in American fare. One of the characters says, "My mama says Chinese people eat dogs." The teacher steps in and says, "Now be nice, Timmy. I'm sure Jin doesn't do that. In fact, Jin's family probably stopped doing that sort of thing as soon as they came to the United States." In the image over here to the far right, fast forward in the novel, Chin Ki says, "Would cousin Danny like to try Chin Ki's crispy fried clap gizzards with noodles?" And again, ha ha ha, parody down below. Stereotyping also takes place when our character Wei Chin Soon comes from Taiwan. He is a recent immigrant. Within the novel, you will notice that there are little carrots that are at the edge of each side of the box of dialogue. This indicates that the character is speaking Chinese. He approaches Jin Wang and says, "Sorry to bother you, but you're Chinese, aren't you?" And ironically, Jin, who feels left out and rejected by his peers, rejects Wei Chin Soon by saying, "You're an American, speak English." So the final example of stereotyping is the idea that the Chinese are good at science and math and that they are all trained in the martial arts. Chin Ki is all of these things. The school teacher says, "The ulna is connected to the," and Chin Ki says, "Humulus." American-born Chinese themes focus on finding out who you are and of self-discovery. It's a coming-of-age novel for the character Jin Wang. The monkey learns to be himself, and interestingly enough, at the end of the novel, he becomes a good little monkey, learning to accept himself as who he is. Danny is actually Jin Wang's American self. Humorously, Chin Ki still calls him Danny, using the Chinese accent and continually reminding Jin Wang that he, or Danny in fact, that he is still Chinese. This frame from the novel shows Jin Wang's various transformations as he changes from Jin Wang to Danny. American-born Chinese ends with all three characters and all three threads being woven together and concluding with the characters accepting themselves as they are and who they were created to be. American-born Chinese has been well received and has received many awards and reviews. Bin Bin Fu of Oxford University commented on the stereotyping portrayed in American-born Chinese. The blatant stereotype that Chin Ki stands for has long denied Asians a place in American culture. Other reviews comment on Yang's comics and style. By using facial expressions and body gestures, and by varying the angle of perspective, Yang provides information that goes beyond what print text can offer. Yang is not only a brilliant storyteller, but also a gifted cartoonist. And Publishers Weekly says, this much anticipated affected story is more than just the story of a Chinese-American childhood. It is a fable for every kid born into a body and life they wish they could escape. American-born Chinese is most often used in the classroom, 9th grade, and Cheryl Gomes with James Bucky Carter published their results in the English Journal. They use this text with students who struggle with feeling different from their peers. Their students typically are high school resource classroom students, and they say that American-born Chinese is excellent when working with students who are struggling to find out who they are and what their place in the world is, a journey that every teenager finds challenging. They go on to say that the novel, quote, vividly demonstrates to students the dangerous effects of stereotyping on others and the anxiety that some may feel when it comes to negotiating their own sense of self with images and ideas that they feel may be imposed upon them. American-born Chinese is a great selection to use in any classroom. The 9th grade is the typical reading level also for the book. Here is my bibliography, citing the various sources I used, along with the novel American-born Chinese by Gene Luen Yang. Thank you.